Good morning, everyone. In previous class, we have to learn about lead acid batteries, their working, chemical reaction when discharging, charging, recharging, everything we have to observe. Now, in this class, I am going to discuss about batteries of their ampere hour efficiency, watt hour efficiency, the applications, EMF equation of the battery. This we are going to explain in this period. Let us say EMF of battery. We know that batteries are connected in series. These are each one which is having 2.2 volts. Say, suppose they are having 6 batteries in series, their potential is added. So totally 13.2 volts, 6 into 2.2 volts. Then we can measure. So here I am going to discuss about the EMF of battery. The EMF of a fully charged lead acid cell is about 2.2 volts. As the cell delivers current, its EMF also decreases, though by a very small amount. The magnitude of EMF depends upon length of time since it was last charged, specific gravity of electrolyte, temperature when a cell has been recently charged. Its EMF is high, but it gradually decreases even if left on open circuit. The EMF of the cell rises with the increase in specific gravity of the electrolyte. The surrounding temperature also affects the EMF, there being a slight increase in its value with the rise in temperature. These are the important factor depends on the EMF. How much time is taken, what is the specific gravity of the electrolyte, temperature, and the EMF is when which is cell, the EMF of the cell is raised because of when the very specific gravity is increased, the EMF of the cell is raised, temperature of this surrounding which is also affect the EMF. So these are we are observing EMF, which is when we are calculating, or these factors are depends on the EMF of the battery. Next, voltage of battery. Here we are going to learn that the open circuit terminal voltage of a fully charged cell is about 2.2 volts. What is say? Then, when the cell delivers current, the terminal voltage is less than its EMF due to voltage drop in the internal resistance of the cell. There is a internal resistance which is having some voltage drop. Then EMF due to voltage drop, and then you can calculate the terminal voltage of the battery when which is cell is delivering the current. Therefore, in this condition, the terminal voltage of the battery is lesser than EMF due to voltage drop in the internal resistance of the cell. If the discharge is continued, the terminal voltage falls rapidly for a short time, then slowly for some time, and again rapidly for towards the end of the discharge. Right? Actually, open circuit voltage of the fully charged cell, when you are testing, you will get 2.2 volts or otherwise the range of the say battery, and which when this battery is delivers the current, the voltage across this terminals is lesser due to the internal resistance of the cell. That is we are observing in our laboratory. In anywhere you are observing the battery, the terminal which is having some voltage, if the voltage is reduced, battery will be started discharging. That conditions we are already observing. If the discharge is continued and the terminal voltage falls down within a short duration, that is we are learned, and in these conditions also we are observing when we are reading the batteries in our laboratories, when we are using the batteries in our automobiles or mobile phones, where you are using, you can test by using any voltmeter or a multimeter in between the two terminals what is the voltage of the battery. Right? Now I'm going to discuss about the slide, that is terminal voltage of battery. It may be noted that when the terminal voltage has fallen to about 1.8 volts, the discharge should be stopped. Actually, the terminal voltage of the battery which is having 2.2 volt, when the terminal voltage is fallen to about 1.8 volts, discharge is stopped. Already this one is where we discussed about when we learned the lead acid cell discharging mode of operation. If it is continued, too much lead sulfate is formed. Discharging is continued, too much lead sulfate is formed, clogging the pores of the plates, possibly damaging them and making the recharging increasingly difficult. So how to form PbSO4? Pb, when we are placed the two electrodes in a container which is having a H2SO4 acid plus distilled water, that is H2O. Charging mode and discharging mode, their chemical reaction we are observing. In the discharging mode, the lead sulfate is formed. Therefore, damaging and making the recharging increasingly difficult. These conditions we are observing. And also excess lead sulfate in the plates raises the internal resistance of cell, thus lowering the terminal voltage. Therefore, the specific gravity of the electrolyte too is reduced by the water that is formed, and this lowers cell voltage even more. When we are observing the two electrodes, their gravity, the specific gravity and their plates, in the different conditions they can observe some acid. When we are these are having in uh, container, when we are applying the DC2 in between the two terminals, this action charging and recharging and discharging actions we are observing. Next is, what is the capacity of cell? We learn what is EMF. Next, what is the capacity of cell? You can calculate the capacity of the cell. So how you can determine the capacity of the cell? The capacity of a cell is the quantity of electricity which it can give out during single discharge until its terminal voltage falls to 1.8 volts. When discharging is happen, the terminal voltage falls down to 1.8 volts. Then after that, what is happen? It measured by the product of current in amperes and time in hours. That is called capacity of cell. What is that? Capacity of cell is defined as the product of current in amperes into the time in hours. So therefore that is capacity of cell, which is ID into TD. What is ID here? Current in amperes. What is DITD? Time in hours. So ampere hours we can calculate it. That is called capacity of the cell, where ID steady discharging current in amperes, TD time in hours for which the cell can supply current until its PD falls to 1.8 volts. What is that? Time in hours for which the cell can supply current until the PD falls to 1.8. Suppose you have the cell, the capacity of cell which is having 2.2 volts. When which is delivering the current, after some time the cell will be start discharging until the potential difference falls to 1.8. That is called time in hours. The capacity of lead acid cell is taken up to a point till it discharges down to 1.8 volts. Then it is because a lead acid cell is not permitted to discharging because of point to avoid permanent damage to the cell. So this is the most applicable conditions for calculating the capacity of the battery or capacity of the cell. How you can calculate the capacity of cell? That is current in ampere, which is the product of current in amperes, time in hours, that is called ampere hours, is which is the capacity of the cell. For example, I can say 1 ampere current, time which is 60 hours. So what is the cell capacity of the cell or capacity of the battery? 1 ampere, 1 into time, that is taken 60 hours. So 1 into 60 ampere hours, that is the capacity of the cell, right? Note this point, all of you. Next, for example, you can consider a cell of capacity 120 ampere hours, means the cell can deliver 1 ampere for 120 hours. Another example, 2 ampere for 60 hours. In these two combination, we can define the capacity of the cell, that is ampere, current in amperes, time in hours. That is the product of this, which is called the capacity of the cell. Means 1 ampere into 120 ampere hours. This is the capacity of the battery or cell. Next, second one, 2 into 60, which is equivalent to 120 ampere hours. Then we can call This is the capacity of the cell. After that much time, the terminal voltage of the cell falls to 1.8 volts, requiring recharging. Right? When which is falls 1.8 volts, it requires recharging of the battery. The capacity of cell depends upon some following factors. Of that factors we are going to learn. First one is the rate of discharge. So that is higher the rate of discharge, capacity is less. So what he say, rate of this means discharging is higher, required beyond below that limit it is exceeded. So means at the time what will be changes, the capacity of the cell is reduced. Then we can say rate of discharge, higher the rate of discharge, less the capacity. Temperature, when charging or discharging time, the temperature of the batteries increases. What is say? Increase with the temperature. That is also most important. The capacity of the cell, which is also depend on the temperature range, because of the temperature which is increase or decrease. When which increase with the temperature is depend upon the capacity of the cell. Area of the plate, which is also a prime criteria for the capacity of the cell. For learning, this is the most important factor for the capacity of the cell. So area of plate increases with plate area. Suppose the area of the plate is increases, the capacity of the cell increases. Specific gravity of electrolyte. This is playing very important role when two electrodes are contain placed in a container. The specific gravity of the electrolyte is plays a major role, which is also depends upon increase with the specific gravity. So here the capacity of the cell, which is also depends on the increase with the specific gravity of the electrolyte. This is the important point here. Once you can observe that these 4 points are the 4 following factors are mostly depend upon the capacity of the cell. One is rate of discharge, second one is temperature, third one is area of plates, fourth one is specific gravity of electrolyte. These 4 factors are mostly depends upon the capacity of cell. Right? All of you understanding this point? Next, we are going to discuss about the efficiency of the cell or the efficiency of the battery. There are two ways of expressing the efficiency of secondary cell: ampere hour efficiency, watt hour efficiency. Ampere hour efficiency, here we can define that. So it is a ratio of output ampere hours to the input ampere hours of the cell. So here ampere hour is defined. Ampere hour provided on discharge by amperes hour charge into 100, which is equal to IDTD by ICTC into 100, which is called ampere hour of the efficiency. Right? Are you getting, all of you getting this point or not? What is the ampere hour of efficiency? Efficiency, which is the ratio of output ampere hours to the input ampere hours of the cell. It's called ampere hours of the efficiency. Second is watt hour efficiency. You know that watt hour efficiency, one we learned the ampere hour efficiency, next one is the watt hour efficiency, which is also defined. Before that, we can learn some point. Since ampere hours is the quantity of electricity, this efficiency sometimes called quantity of efficiency also. The ampere hour efficiency is lead acid cell is about 90%. It means that if a lead acid cells provide ampere hours on complete discharge, then 100 ampere hour must be put back into the cell to restore it to its original condition. This is well learned. Next, watt hour of efficiency. So here, ampere hour efficiency we have to learn. Next one is the watt hour efficiency of the batteries. The capacity of the battery is essential in this case. So here, watt hour efficiency when we are defining, which is also the same in case of ampere hour efficiency. So that is watt hour efficiency we can define. It is the ratio of output energy to the input energy of the cell. So watt hour efficiency is equal to, which is denoted with the letter zeta WH, which is equal to energy given on discharge by energy input of charge into 100. So what is energy given on discharge? Vd into Id into Td by Vc into Tc, Ic into Vc into Ic into Tc into 100. So this is the equation for watt hour efficiency. Id into Td by Ic into Tc into 100 into Vd by Vc. So zeta Ah into Vd by Vc. This is watt hour efficiency performance. So we have learned what is the watt hour efficiency, which is defined as the ratio of output energy to the input energy of the cell. So that is which is generated with the letter zeta WH. Therefore, we can define it is energy given on discharge to energy input of charge into 100. And there is a equation already there written Vd Id Td by Vc Ic Tc into 100 or zeta Ah into Vd by Vc, which is called watt hour efficiency. Right? Not. Next, already you can learn the terms Vd, Id, Td, Vc, Ic, Tc, zeta H, WH. Whereas the ID is steady discharging current in amperes, TD is discharging time in hours, VD average PD during discharge, IC steady charging current in amperes, TC charging time in hours, VC average PD during charging since average PD during discharging is lower than the average PD during charge, that is VC. Due to effect of internal resistance and their polarization, zeta WH is always less than zeta AH. And therefore, next one is the efficiency of lead acid is depends upon the following factors. One is rate of charge and discharge, internal resistance and polarization, time interval between the end of discharge and the commencement of recharge, temperature. These are most important factors of the efficiency of lead acid cell depends. Next, application of lead acid batteries. Lead acid batteries are having most important applications. So actually the chief application of lead acid battery is at place where a DC generator cannot be conveniently installed. Such battery is employed whenever low voltage, high current DC source is required. And some of the important application of lead acid batteries are, we are going to explain that one in the next slide. So let us see the slide. Here, lead acid batteries are extensively used in automobiles. What is say? Most of the applications in substations, generating stations, most of the automobiles you can use lead acid. The important application of the lead acid batteries is lead acid battery. The most important one is lead acid battery, which is used in extensively used in automobiles. This is the most important application. A DC generator, battery and load are connected in parallel. Since the internal resistance of the lead acid battery is very low, it provides a large output current required for starting the engine of the car. In addition, the battery furnishes the power for light, radio, etc. When the engine is stopped, when the engine is running, it operates the DC generator, which takes over the duties of the battery. These are the most important ones. So what is that? Lead acid batteries are mostly used in automobiles. For that point of view, lead acid battery are playing major role nowadays for in automobiles as well as in generating stations as well as in substations. You can use lead acid type batteries. Second, second applications of lead acid battery. Railway train lighting system is similar to the above mentioned system. When the train is in motion, axle driven DC generators furnish power for lighting fans. When the trains run at slow speeds or is stopped, lead acid batteries are take over the duties of the generators. Area. These are the points in railway train lighting system. Their batteries are used for axle driven DC generators furnish for power for lighting and fans. And when trains runs at low speeds or stopped, lead acid batteries take over the duties of the generators. If any problem should happen, we can use the lead acid type batteries. So railway turning lighting system for that point of view also we can use lead acid batteries. This is the most important application for the lead acid batteries. In a AC generating plants, lead acid batteries are used to initialize the control operators, example switchgear. During shutdown generators, these batteries are used to supply emergency lights. Hospitals and other places, theaters, banks, computer systems, lead acid type batteries were used. Where continuous supply is absolutely essential, often use batteries as an emergency supply. These are used for lighting purpose in remote rural areas where there are no power lines. So these batteries are play the major roles when the power is not available in the rural areas. By using these batteries, they can provide the lighting for the public in remote areas, so remote and rural areas. So here, lead acid batteries are playing a major role. They are having very excellent applications for the use. The batteries are kept in charge by means of a DC generator. When the generator fails, the battery supplies the load. These are the application of lead acid batteries. And next session, in this session, break up the time, we are going to discuss about the Qs related with batteries. So here number one question, the capacity of battery is expressed in terms of, I can read ABCD option choices, answer this question. What the capacity of battery is expressed in terms of A. Current rating, B. Voltage rating, C. Ampere hour rating, D. None of the above. Which one is the correct answer? Anyone give the answer? Generally, we are discussing about efficiency of the battery, capacity of the battery, that is ampere and time in hour, current in amperes and time in hour, their products which is called ampere hour. That is called capacity of the battery. So here the question is, the capacity of a battery is expressed in terms of A. Current rating, voltage rating, ampere hour rating, none of the above. So most important one bit here is, and answer is from these choices, ampere hour rating. C is the correct answer. All of you getting ampere hour rating? What is the capacity of battery? Which is the product of time in amperes into time in current in amperes into. So here just to rectify this The capacity of the battery, which is defined as the product of current in amperes into time in hours, which is called ampere hours. So here we are, the capacity of battery is expressed in terms of ampere hour rating. The capacity of a battery is expressed in terms of ampere hour rating. This is the correct answer. C is the correct answer. Next, next question. Which all of you answer this question. Question is, the storage battery generally used in electric power station, right? Why you are used? What are the important applications of batteries? We are using automobiles, substation, generating stations, and these are secondary cells, secondary type of batteries only. They are providing long life for them. For the point of view, we can use it for automobiles, substation, generating power plants. So there here, what is the question is, the storage battery generally used in electric power station is A. Nickel cadmium battery, B. Zinc carbon battery, C. Lead acid battery, D. None of the above. Which one is the correct answer? Already we have discussed in the previous class. Which one is the correct answer? Any one of the you give the answer? Next question is, trickle charger of a storage battery helps to A. Maintain proper electrolyte level, B. Increase its reverse capacity, C. Prevent sulfation, D. Keep it fresh and fully charged. Which one is the correct answer? This is also we are already discussed. Once again I can repeat the question. Trickle charger of a storage battery helps to A. Maintain proper electrolyte level, B. Increase its reverse capacity, C. Prevent sulfation, D. Keep it fresh and fully charged. Which one is the correct answer? D is the correct answer. Trickle charge of a storage battery helps to keep it fresh and fully charged. This is the correct answer. Right? Next, on overcharging a battery, another question, all of you listen. On overcharging a battery, the given choices, which one is the correct? Any one of you can answer this question. A. It will bring about chemical change in active materials. B. It will increase the capacity of the battery. C. It will raise the specific gravity of the electrolyte. D. None of the above. Which one is the correct answer? Right? Are you getting my answer question? On overcharging a battery, A, it will bring about chemical change in active materials. Is not correct. Wrong. B, it will increase the capacity of the battery. Wrong. C, it will rise the specific gravity of the electrolyte. It's not correct. D, none of the above. D is the answer. D is the correct answer. Right. So today we are discussing about topic on battery, EMF of the battery, capacity of the battery, terminal voltage of the battery, ampere hour efficiency of the battery, watt hour efficiency of the battery, and next quiz related questions we have to learn. So all of you, for we are going to calculating this and watt hour efficiency or ampere efficiency. For that point of view, all of you practice the equations and lead acid batteries, EMF equation, capacity, and terminal voltage. So what are the conditions is there? All this you can practice it at your home, and you can prepare the one of the assignment for this one. Write the application of lead acid battery. Second one, define ampere hour efficiency of the battery. Third, watt hour efficiency of the battery. You can define and explain the detailed information provided, and you can draw practically the diagram of this ampere hour or watt hour batteries. So these equations are mostly you can help for calculation of the ampere hour efficiency and watt hour efficiency. So these are most important problem for the examination point of view. Once you know the equations, you can solve the problems. So this related equation they can ask in the examination. All of you practice it. Similar you can submit. So what I taught in the class and for assignment. Okay. Thank you all of you. Thank you. Tomorrow we will meet in the next class.